Hello, Libra. Elsie here to do a reading for you. How you doing, Libra? I hope you're well, sweethearts. And I'm here to read from these oracles first. We're going to do that first of all, and then we're going to get at it with some tarot. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about how to find the extendeds and the private reading sessions if you'd like to do that with your time. Let's find out what's going on with you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs, by the way, not just sun signs for Libra. This is your energy after this new moon in Taurus. So let's find out what the new cycle brings for you, Libra. We have, let it shine. Oh, you know who just got this in this place? This was Aquarius. So maybe you might want to go back and watch Aquarius's reading if it has anything to do with you at all. But this is, I feel like there is a cycle in your life that's coming to an end here, my friend, because it feels like it was dulling your shine. It feels like, I don't know, I always see you guys as the creatives, right? So maybe you have to change editors. Maybe you have to leave a band and go to a different band. It feels like there was something here that was dulling your shine. I feel like this is who you are. You know, Libra, you like to dress nice, right? You're noticed in a room. You're usually quite beautiful and to look at. And I feel like you are a certain type of person. A little bit flamboyant in the way that you dress, but you always look good. I feel like you are also someone who is very articulate. You are somebody who I feel that people sort of see you as the star, I would say, but I feel like they were trying to dull your shine because you were shining too bright. So you might have been outshining the people in your friend group or outshining somebody like your boss. Maybe you could do your boss's job and they knew it. It feels like that sort of energy. Let's find out what else is going on here. Tell me more about Libra, please. We have emotions are running high. So it does feel like, oh, and by the way, this new moon that we just had was a super moon, this new moon in Taurus. But I feel like, yes, emotions are running high. It feels like somebody here is trying to dim your shine, and you're going to shine anyway. It does feel like emotions are running high for this reason, but we'll find out more about that as we get into the tarot. Let's find out what else is going on here for you. Last oracle card out. And then we have surrender to the journey. So I'm going to say that if something ends for you, which I think it is, because card 46 is a 10, but please remember that things come to an end only for one purpose, and that's because something else is ready to begin. So things end for a reason, because because you've learned as much as you can in that cycle, right? In tarot, things go in cycles of 10. So you've learned as much as you can from that cycle, and I think that it was dulling your shine. So I feel like although you might feel very emotional about what's about to go down or something that's already in the midst of going down, it feels like I want to ask you to please surrender to the journey. Please know that it's happening because it's supposed to happen this way, and release control and just let the current take you where it's supposed to take you. Let's look at the bottoms of these here. We've got miracles are endless. So I feel like this really does take you to a place where you are better matched. I want to say you can see how adorned this cow is, right? The cow spirit. I feel like it feels like that there was a doubt put in your mind from people who don't like that you are very adorned and nice to look at and create attention, which is taking attention from them. And they didn't realize that there's always enough, right? There's always enough to go around. And I think that's your mindset, that there is always enough to go around. So I don't think that you realize that somebody was feeling threatened by the way that you shine. We have a new start is coming. It really does feel like you are ending something here because something else is already starting and you got to catch up, friend. Yep, this is for you. This is the thing that's for you. It says a new moon. We just had a new moon in Taurus, right? It's a new cycle. So something here is catching up, or you need to catch up with something. Fogged in, go slow, take time. So don't rush at it. I feel like things are going to transpire the way they are supposed to, but I do feel something exciting is coming for you. So even though this is coming to an end, which I feel is highly emotional for you, I feel as though you should let it end. Let it happen. Try not to fight for it to stay. All right. Let's get to some tarot. Let's talk about you, Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Libra. There it it is. The Wheel of Fortune's here, friend. This is a destined time for you, I believe. And I think there's something going on with your astrology as well. So please go see your favorite astrologer to find out what that is. But I do know that all the planets have shifted. And so I feel like this is a time of destiny for you. Things are expanding, Libra, and I don't think you're a fan. I'm just going to say. Things are expanding, which means things are changing, which means you got to be out of balance for a little bit of time. Because when things change, we're not exactly sure where they're going to land. I feel this is not so much as an ending, but a recalibration is what it feels like for you. It feels like a recalibration. It's like the wheel is here to turn into fortunate things. And I feel like you feel as though some sort of accident is about to happen and you can't stop it. All you can do is watch it happening in slow motion. And I'm going to say that it doesn't feel like you're going to be in an accident. It doesn't feel like anyone else is going to be in an accident. What I mean is something that you're out of control of. You don't have control over what happens right now because the Wheel of Fortune is here. Destiny is here. Expansion is here, which means everything must change, but I don't think you're a fan because it's going to cause you to be in some sort of instability at some point. We've got the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man is really about getting perspective, right, on what is actually going on. I think that whatever's going on is preparing you to go solo. I feel like it's preparing you to do something solo, to build your kingdom, to get more confidence. I feel like it is time for you to allow the journey to unfold for you because I think it's taking you to a place that is going to make you very abundant, very sure of yourself. It feels like it's going to give you confidence. You might open a business or you might do something, a project on your own without having to have people help you with it. Tell me why the Wheel of Fortune is here. The Wheel of Fortune is expanding everything in a time of destiny. This is abundance. This is goodwill. This is excitement here. It doesn't feel exciting for you, though, because it's taking you out of your comfort zone. You feel rejected. So whatever's going on here is about to come to an end, and you're going to feel rejected. But I say to you that this change is here for a reason. You are going to know what that change is because I feel like you're going to see it. It feels like what's being revealed to you is that you had tucked yourself into some sort of a comfort zone and it wasn't the place that you were supposed to stay. The sun is here, but look, the sun is happy. The sun is growth. I feel like you outgrew a space or a relationship or a job or something like that. I think it was dulling your shine, my friend. And then we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse, and you weren't ready to say anything. It feels like you were not ready to speak up or say something or to be honest about how you felt about the situation. I think that you felt it going down, I think. You felt that your stability, your emotional stability was about to be rocked. I could be talking about a relationship, an emotional relationship, or maybe just something you're feeling emotionally as change is opening up. I feel like there is some sort of big reveal that's coming that I feel is teaching you that when things are changing or it's time to go, to leave, to not just stay there because you feel comfortable there. I think that you were learning a lesson here. Tell me about the Hanged Man. I feel like there is something here that you do have to sacrifice, or you'll feel like you're sacrificing something, and it's going to be highly emotional for you. We've got the Ten of Wands. You've been carrying it around, and I think you would have carried it around for another 10 years, honestly. As long as you could stay in balance, I feel like you would have carried the pressure of something here. Something was pressuring you to do something. It's like the universe is putting pressure on you a little at a time to make you move. And I don't think that you wanted to move. I think you were willing to carry the burden. But then it comes to a place here where I feel like you are going to have to sacrifice something. And I think that you started sacrificing your happiness, honestly. I really feel like when the Nine of Cups comes up for me as a reader, it's about disillusionment. I thought this was my wish fulfillment, but I'm going to make it be my wish fulfillment. And I'm not going to be proven wrong by anybody. They can't tell me that I made a bad decision or I made a wrong move or maybe I shouldn't have stayed as long as I did. It feels like disillusionment. I thought this was going to be way more emotionally satisfying than it is. And I feel like you ended up carrying around that burden for a while before you realized that something here is running too high in your emotions and it's time for you to sacrifice something. The Temperance card is here. I think this is the balance you've been looking for. This is the emotional balance, right? Because this is high highs, low lows, and it all comes to an end. It comes to an end because now it's time to heal it. It's a moment of alchemy. It's like everything comes into balance in one moment, and you realize that you were in the high highs and the low lows. You were actually out of balance, and you were allowing someone, something, a job to do that to you because you wanted to stay. But I feel like you don't realize that it really was dimming your light. Um, let's talk about the Nine of Pentacles and surrendering to the journey. I know it's hard to release control. This is Virgo energy. Virgo's never going to release control. Sometimes people say to me, this is a Libra reading. Why are you talking about Virgo? Because I'm an energy reader. And I feel your energy, which I feel is Virgo type energy, which is I've got all the details. I'm the person who is the great planner. I know what I'm supposed to be doing from here. I've got all the analytics and the data. So why didn't it work, Elsie? It didn't work because that's not the place you were supposed to be. You were supposed to be doing something on your own, building something on your own. Maybe it's a side hustle. Maybe you're a musician that was supposed to be solo for a bit to learn another lesson. But I feel like that you felt that you were in control of the plan. And I think that the Wheel of Fortune showed up and screwed it all up for you, fucked it all up and said, nope, this isn't the place where you're staying. Tell me about the Nine of Pentacles. We've got the Five of Swords. Yeah, I think you fought it, friend. It feels like you really fought what was going on here. I really don't know if I want to do this, if I want to be on my own. I think that you fought going solo. You fought building something on your own. It feels like it's because you were tied up in your head. Yeah. I feel like it was really hard for you to be able to make this decision to move. And I feel like you fought these feelings for a while because you were pretty sure that you had all the details. We've got the Tower here. Yeah. So then the universe usually shows up. Look, when you won't go and you won't make a change, the universe shows up and says, well, and kicks you out of the nest. And so I feel like you have a change of mind, friend. It feels like your perspective switches up. You're getting a perspective in the Hanged Man energy and the Five of Swords, and the Tower tells me you change your mind, which brings you to this place where you no longer feel like you can't move. You no longer feel like you're in the freeze mode. The Tower is here to shake things loose for a reason because you were going the wrong way. You were building an illusion. It looked good from the outside. It looked good from the inside. It was paying me. It was stable. I think I'll just stay here forever. So I feel like the Tower shows up as a bit of mercy to say to you, look, you need to release control. I'm going to show you how to do that, but you're not going to like it because it's going to happen like that. It's not going to happen with your permission. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, it does feel like it does impact you in a way where you feel like you aren't enough, you don't have enough. Maybe it impacts your finances for a short time. I'm going to say surrender to the journey because I feel like you will be paid back tenfold. I feel like you are in the midst of transit. You're transitioning into a different place in your life. The Five of Pentacles tells me, yeah, you're going to probably feel like everything has come to an end or feeling in lack. Feeling disconnected, not really sure what's coming up next. But I feel like this is the place where you're being taught to surrender to the journey, because the journey itself, what you're learning on the journey, is more important than where you think you're supposed to be, where the outcome is. I feel like you have a long road to travel before you get to the outcome, but I feel like a lot of this leg of the race or this part of your journey is meant to be you using all the knowledge that you were giving to another employer, another band, another whatever it was, another editor. It feels like you were supposed to be doing that on your own. Yeah. And I think you were fighting it because it was terrifying. Look, the Tower can be terrifying. When everything starts to fall apart and you're a person who really values being in balance, it destabilizes everything. And it could destabilize your finances. It could, maybe you feel like you don't have, like you have an identity crisis. You're like, but I thought, like it feels like that. But understand that you have to be broken down in order to, things have to fall apart in order so they can fall back together again and be stronger. And I think it's because this new beginning is coming. You were fogged in for a time, friend. You were fogged in and you just couldn't think clearly, it feels like. You were going slow, taking your time, thought that you were being meticulous with the details, but I feel like there was a damn miracle showing up. But I feel like where you were was adding some sort of a, we got card number 15, which is the devil. So it feels like the miracles were coming, but you had doubt. A doubt about yourself, doubt about your skills, you had doubt and fear that was keeping you back. So I feel like whatever is about to shove you out of the way is doing it for mercy, because you would have stayed a place where somebody was trying to dull your shine, and you are the star, my friend. I feel like you are the person who is supposed to be shining. You will heal. Don't worry about that. You'll heal, and I feel like after you get over this disillusionment and you get your perspective, you'll be fine. Look, we're going to put down 3 cards here because that's what I do before I go into the extended. This usually ends up being what the outcome is, or maybe this is a little bit more information for you going forward. But if you want to come into the extended, we'll talk about that in a second. Tell me about what's coming up in the extended here for Libra. We've got the 9 of Wands. Look, you are going to go through a phase in your life where you feel like your plans failed, where you feel like, oh, I should have taken that step before they pushed me out. Before the tower came, I should have put my plan into action. I feel like the 9 of Wands tells me you're burnt out. You're tired of being the people pleaser. You're tired of pleasing everybody around you, dulling your shine. It takes a lot of energy. And I feel like you are feeling a little bit burnt out. I feel like you still do have this plan, though, that you can put into motion. And I feel like you will. There it is. Justice is here. Once you get your balance back, friend, it's going to be time for you to move forward with a plan. There's a plan that I think is under the surface that you have not executed yet. You have not executed the plan, but I think it's a good one. And I feel like once you feel back to being your old self, back in balance here, once things restore and you see the truth of the situation, I feel like it's time for you to move forward. We'll talk more about that in the extended. If you'd like to be there and watch me pull all of this apart and clarify everything here, then please go to the comment section. The comment section, at the very top of the comment section, there's one comment that is pinned. Please click on read more. You will see there are 2 links there. One is for the extendeds that go into the membership area. Please join us there. The other one is for extended, or not extended readings, but private readings. Click the link to Hypsee. Check out my prices and my packages there. They begin at $25 and they go up from there. So hopefully see you in one of those places. Look at this. Look. There was something going on under the surface. Somebody was lying, not being truthful, not being honest. And I feel like it came to an end for a reason. So you would see something. We'll talk about that in the extended. I'm going to go now. I will go there and I will go there. And if I see you there, great. If I don't, that's cool too. I'll be back because I'm always back. I never leave you out here by yourself, Libra. Take care of yourself. And I'm going to go, but I will see you again. Take care, Libra. Bye-bye.